And it's easy to find problems in any complicated project, but you take a step back to the 200-kilometer view level, and you see that NASA spent, I think I added this up a couple years ago, I think it was $800 million between the money that was initially awarded to Kistler, and then the Space Act with SpaceX, and then the Space Act for the remaining Kistler funds with Orbital, and then the addition of the risk augmentation or the augmentation funds that had a risk mitigation effect, where we were able to add in a test flight of just the rocket, and I think SpaceX had some other risk retirement milestones that they were additionally funded for. You add that up, because originally it was $500 million, I think, total, and then it went up to 800. You think about that $800 million and what the government was able to achieve. You get 2 new launch pads. You get 2 new launch vehicles capable of launching a medium-class spacecraft. Then you get 2 medium-class spacecraft with bipod propulsion, triple redundant avionics, certified by the Safety Review Panel at NASA to rendezvous and berth with the space station for $800 million. I don't know how, what it would cost. It's always an interesting question, what it would cost NASA to do that themselves. I'm sure it would be a lot more than that, and there's probably no way to really figure that out. But I think that's a great success story. The fact that that all the demonstrations for both SpaceX and Orbital were successful right off the bat. I think that showed that commercial industry was able to step up and get through that development process. And we knew the right factors of safety to apply, and we knew the stability margins that needed to be there for the guidance nav and control system. And we had the ability to get through the Safety Review Panel and satisfy NASA's concerns that we were safe to approach the ISS. And there haven't been any problems outside of a few nits on either spacecraft with the berthing and arrival at the space station. So I think that paradigm of the shared investment, the commercial companies developing on their own, and then leading to a fixed price services contract was very effective. Now if you think about the fixed price aspect here of the CRS contract, a FAR-based contract, so now we're off the Space Act agreement, we're transitioned to services. So this is a traditional FAR-based IDIQ contract where it was an open bid again, and we were selected for 8 missions. Again, I go back to the timing of this. We had to declare those prices and put in our proposal for launches through 2016, back in 2008, on a system that we hadn't yet developed or operated yet. And that's really, sticking your neck out there quite far. And I think it's a testament to the capabilities of industry that we had, not just a couple insane companies, but we had a whole host of companies that were willing to sign on the dotted line and make a commitment that these are fixed prices by year for these launches, and we've strived very hard to stay within those set prices, and we have, and we know that that's our commitment to NASA, and our obligation is to get these launches done under those prices that we're already committed to. Now, on our side, what that means is we have problems. Something costs a lot more than we thought. Something breaks, we have to go to a different vendor, or just a launch is delayed. That costs us money. And so we have to make up for that elsewhere, and that leads to decisions that we have to be very efficient, and we have to work very cooperatively between Cygnus and Antares. When we have a delay, we try to get our personnel off onto other projects so as to not overspend with the labor hours when we're not actually launching. So, I think all of that is an example. I think it's a successful transition from shuttle to cargo logistics. Now, lately we've had some failures with the 3 main delivery craft, but we're going to get those fixed, and we'll be back flying. And we're going to be launching Cygnus on an Atlas V here later this year, which shows the flexibility of our system. And again, our desire to be a system integrator and not be beholden to any particular element, but stay flexible and just focus on getting the job done, which is getting the cargo to orbit. So, I would have to say, I'm a little biased, of course, but I think for the country and for NASA, keeping the ISS stocked with cargo, keeping the cargo coming. We've been successful through this transition. It's a lot of hard work, but I think NASA was right to trust that industry was capable of stepping up to the plate and making these systems work.